I am going to teach you Nelson Mandela, A Long Walk to Freedom for class 10th. In previous classes, I have taught you about this chapter in detail, and I have also taught you about the apartheid system of South Africa and how Nelson Mandela struggled against this apartheid system. Today is the last class of this chapter, so please listen carefully. But then I slowly saw that not only was I not free, but my brothers and sisters were not free. I saw that it was not just my freedom that was curtailed, but the freedom of everyone who looked like I did. That is when I joined the African National Congress, and this and that is when the hunger for my own freedom became the greater hunger for the freedom of my people. It was this desire for the freedom of my people to live their lives with dignity and self respect that animated my life, that transformed a frightened young man into a bold one, that drove a law abiding attorney to become a criminal, that turned a family loving husband into a man without a home, that forced a life loving man to live like a monk. I am no more virtuous or self sacrificing than the next man. But I found that I could not even enjoy the poor and limited freedom I was allowed when I knew my people were not free. Freedom is indivisible. The chains of on any one of my people were the chains on all of them. The chains on all of my people were the chains on me. I knew that the oppressor must be liberated just as surely as the oppressed. A man who takes away another man's freedom is a prisoner of hatred. He is looked behind the bars of prejudice and narrow mindedness. I am not truly free if I am taking away someone else's freedom just as surely as I am not free when my freedom is taken from me. Then oppressed and oppressor alike are robbed of their humanity. Through these lines, Nelson Mandela described about his life history, how he joined African National Congress. What is the cause of his active leader to become an active leader? But then I slowly saw that not only was I not free, but my brothers and sisters were not free. I saw that it was not just my freedom that was curtailed. Through these lines, he describes about the real situation of South Africa. He realized I am not only under the apartheid system, but my brothers, my sisters, my family members, all are all were not free. So he saw that it was not just my freedom that was curtailed, but the freedom of everyone, the freedom of the people of South Africa who looked like I did. जो मेरे जैसा दिखता है वह सबकी आज़ादी छीन ली गई है. दैट इज व्हेन आई ज्वाइन द अफ्रीका नेशनल कांग्रेस। यही वजह थी कि मैं नेशनल अफ्रीका कांग्रेस में ज्वाइन किया। एंड दैट इज व्हेन द हंगर फॉर माई ओन फ्रीडम बिकेम द ग्रेटर हंगर फॉर द फ्रीडम of my people. And I started thinking about the freedom of myself or about the freedom of my people. In the present moment, my freedom is not centralized on my freedom, but it become a broad way, the freedom of my people. It was this desire for the freedom of my people to live their lives with dignity and self-respect animated my life. God presented me life and how we lead our life on the earth. And I thought about the lives of South Africans. I thought about the lives of my people, and I decided how they lead their life with dignity and self-respect. That transformed a frightened young man into a bold one. This thinking transformed me, a young man, as a bold man. Frightened young man into a bold man. और यही सोच मुझे एक भयभीत डरा हुआ यंग मैन को बोल्ड मैन के रूप में चेंज कर दिया। That drove a law-abiding attorney to become a criminal. और जो मैं कानून को मानने वाला एक यंग मैन था, अब एक क्रिमिनल के रूप में, कानून के नजर में एक क्रिमिनल बन गया। That turned a family loving husband into a man without a home. एक फैमिली लविंग हस्बैंड था मैं, जो एक बिना घर का व्यक्ति बन गया। That forced a life loving man to live like a monk. जो अपने जीवन से प्यार करने वाला व्यक्ति था, अब एक साधु बन गया। I am no more virtuous or self-sacrificing than the next man. मैं उन दूसरे लोगों से ज्यादा बुद्धिमान नहीं हूं और उससे ज्यादा बलिदानी भी नहीं। But I found that I could not even enjoy the poor and limited freedom I was allowed when I knew my people were not free. लेकिन मैंने पाया कि मुझे उस थोड़ी सी आज़ादी को इंजॉय करना नहीं है, क्योंकि मैं जान गया था कि मेरे लोग फ्री नहीं हैं। My people wear the chains on all of them. The chains of all my people wear the chains on me. मेरे लोग जो गुलाम थे, जो गुलामी की जंजीरों में जकड़े हुए थे, वो गुलामी उनकी नहीं, मेरी गुलामी हो गई। I knew that the oppressor must be liberated just as surely as the oppressed. Here, through these lines, he describes about the two important words, oppressor or oppressed. Nelson Mandela describes about the oppressor. Oppressor must be liberated just as surely as the oppressed. A man who takes away another man's freedom is a prisoner of hatred. अगर एक आदमी दूसरे आदमी की स्वतंत्रता को छीन लेता है तो वह भी एक नफरत का कैदी हो जाता है, क्योंकि उससे अधिकांश लोग नफरत करने लगते हैं। He is looked behind the bars of prejudice and narrow-mindedness. I am not truly free if I am taking away someone else's freedom. यदि मैं दूसरे की आज़ादी छीनता हूं तो मैं भी स्वतंत्र नहीं हूं। यह मेरे नैरो माइंडनेस और प्रेजुडिस को शो करता है। Just as surely I am not free when my freedom is taken from me. यह तय है कि मैं भी स्वतंत्र नहीं हूं जब मेरी स्वतंत्रता छीन ली गई हो। The oppressors and oppressor alike are robbed of their humanity. दोनों मानवता से ठगे गए हैं, दोनों की मानवता समाप्त हो गई है, रॉब्ड हो गई है, क्योंकि गुलामी और गुलाम बनाने वाला दोनों हैट्रेड का ही पात्र होता है। नेल्सन मंडेला describes his feeling about the freedom. Freedom is the most precious things for human beings that is given by the nature. Here Nelson Mandela describes all his journey, describes about the Africa National Congress describes about the apartheid system, described about the people of South Africa, and how he struggled against this evil system, and at last he won, and his victory shows the victory of humanity. This lesson is taken from his first speech of South Africa's ceremony. So Nelson Mandela, here you find he became a very emotional to express their feelings. He became very political to express their feelings, their feelings, his feelings. He became emotional, and his tone is not only emotional but full of political also. And Nelson Mandela was a great leader of South Africa, and he became the first president of South Africa. And that time, that evil system, the apartheid system, totally removed by the struggle, and Nelson Mandela describes his feeling through this lesson. So I request students to go through the book and try to answer the given by your question given by your text. And I hope if you go through the text, then you are able to answer all these questions. And I give you some task. Please try to answer these questions. What twin obligation does Mandela mention? Second question, what did being free mean to Mandela as a boy and as a student, and how does he contrast these transitory freedoms with the basic and honorable freedoms? And third question, does Mandela think the oppressor is free? Why not? So this is the oral questions, and you also try to answer the essay type questions also. Why did such a large number of international leaders attend the inauguration? What did it signify the triumph of? Next question, what does Mandela mean when he says he is simply the sum of all those African patriots who had gone before him? Question number third, would you agree that the depth of oppression create heights of character, and how does Mandela illustrate this? Can you add your own examples of this argument? Question number four, how did Mandela's understanding of freedom change with age and experience? Question number five, how did Mandela's hunger for freedom change his life? These are the important questions from your text. So you go through the text and you listen the lecture continuously, and then you are able to answer these questions. Thank you.